or since, and much better than I was taught at university, for instance. I mean, it helped that there were kind of 5 or 6 children to a class, you know. But nevertheless, it wasn't from the staff that the problem ever came. It came from the other children, I mean, who very rapidly demonstrated to me that whatever I thought, I mean, whether I thought that I belonged to this society or not, they were not going to permit me to belong to it. And it was clear, therefore, that I wasn't one of them, and that there was really no point in my trying to be one of them, because I would never achieve it.
How did they express that to you?
Oh, you know, by a series of little persecutions, I suppose. And there were instances when I would find essays that I'd written torn up and left in pieces on the floor of the room, or things written up on the wall of the room. And I did actually do at this point my most violent act, which in a way is sort of connected to the character in Shame who becomes violent, because I got into my room, and these little cubbyholes were called studies, which you shared with 2 other boys, and I got into one of these rooms one day, and I discovered one of the other boys, who was 14 and a half, I suppose, like me, writing "Wogs Go Home" on the wall, and he still had the black pencil crayon in his hand, so he could not deny that it was him. So I said, I remonstrated with him, let us say it. I said, this is not, you know, a good thing to do, and he became brazen and said, so what? And anyway, I mean it, and all that. And I went crazy, really, and I've never since got into such a fit of where I was possessed by this anger.
You attacked him?
And I attacked him, yes, and or this anger inside me attacked him, really, because I did something which was very strong, and I wasn't then or now particularly physically strong. I grabbed him by the seat of his pants with my right hand, and by the collar of his shirt with my left hand, and I swung him off the ground, like this, and rammed him into the wall, I mean, head first into the wall where he'd written the slogan. You know, into the wogs of Wogs Go Home, and he, like a battering ram, and he passed out on the floor of this study, and I thought I'd killed him. And I mean, because, you know, you are melodramatic if you do that sort of thing, and I was doing kind of B-movie things like pouring water on him, you know. Yeah. And then I hadn't killed him, I'd actually.
But he survived.
He survived.
Yes. But was that then the first?
That was a discovery.
Raw reaction,
yes,
of racism.
Yes, I mean, clearly it was. I mean, I wonder now. I suppose it was I mean, it clearly was racism. But it also, I think.
You knew what wogs meant.
Yes, I knew what wogs meant. Yes, and I found it rather appalling that it meant me. You know, because it's a very odd thing. I'd never left India until I came to England. I mean, except for I had family in Pakistan, so I would go there sometimes.